sun just came up. Come harvest with me. It's been a few days. We're going to start with these tomatoes, which I'm not sure what they are. They're a heritage. We'll see. But these three are all ready. And in the round bed, we don't really have anything else. We have some squash that are coming along, but they're not ready yet. There's a little one right there. I do need to do herbs today, too, but I'll come back for those. So the long beans have their first flowers, but these guys aren't ready yet. Just want to look at our winter squash. Got some flowers down here, both male. But that one's looking really good. Look at this little guy. I can keep going. There's the next little guy. We got a handful of beans. These beans are reaching the end of their life. But over here, our patty pan squash has multiple females on it. Probably get one in a week or two. We got multiple male flowers. This one also has a little female flower starting. These long beans are starting to go up the trellis from down here. We have some little squashes over here. The peas, we've had our first 100-degree days. They're not going to do any more. It's just too hot for them. Over here, our corn didn't get very tall and it's starting to tassel. They're just too much in the shade. If this batch of corn does anything, I'll be surprised. But we'll see. We might get some ears. This cucumber's growing up. Got another round right there. These long beans are doing really good, filling up the fence. We do have some of our first beans. They're not ready yet, but there's definitely beans on it. I've been tucking her back in. It's not working. So yeah, got some pretty, ant pollinators. So the loofah plant's been pretty dramatic the last few days with the heat change. But I finally did get soaker hoses out that work. New soaker hoses. So this one's a little, I don't know if they're like cucumbers and adjust to the water situation where they flare up, where they're getting more water. So we'll see. But definitely I think we'll get more because the heat's ramping up. It's filling up. This is exciting. We have our first baby okra. She's not ready yet. But now I've got to start coming out regularly to check the okra. Pickled okra is pretty good. I didn't like okra as a kid. But when you grow it yourself, it's highly productive. It doesn't have the slimy taste if you pick it and eat it right away. If you pickle it, that sliminess isn't there. So, super excited for my okra to start pumping out. We have one of our second rounds of beans popping up. Those radishes probably need to be taken out. There's some bean seedlings over there too. On to the tomatoes. We're struggling a little bit. I need to come through some more trimming. But we've got this big honker that's ready to go ahead and harvest. The pears, so these are the the small ones. Totally edible. But look what I just found, guys. Little cicada. They're loving my garden. The adults don't eat anything. Like, once they're in the adult form, once they're out of their shell, they don't eat. They just scream at each other and try to find a lady. That's about their jazz. So he hatched last night out of came out of his exoskeleton last night, and so he's letting his wings dry, and then he'll fly off later this morning. On this side, those peas again getting a little roasted. We'll see. They got more shade on this side. Beans are looking good. Everybody's just growing wherever they want. We're letting it be. Not sure what squash this is, but it's a squash of some sort. No female flowers yet. Pulled a couple of carrots. Starting to pump out my first peppers. And I'm going to harvest this little guy as my first bell. He's been on there a while, so I'm going to go ahead and harvest him. And I'm going to have a roast done and turn into stew, so this is going to go into that. Again, the basil is quite large. I'm going to come back through and I'll show you how much we have. We actually have some pollination going on, which I'm super surprised on the tomatoes. It just gets so hot that in the mornings there's not even enough dew for production. But this one's rocking it. We do have one little black cherry ready, but that looks like evidence of something to me. Could be the hornworm. So I finally did get a black light, and I'm going to come out here tonight and I'll check. Speed Racer. Speed Racer. I'm not too worried about him. I'm not going to squish him. These beans have been going crazy. Going all over the place. I keep tucking them back in so that they're not wandering too much, but they're reaching out everywhere. I don't see any actual beans yet, but we're almost there. Get that out there. Not quite yet, but we've got a lot of flower clusters. Our watermelon is starting to do something. We've got male flowers on there. Hopefully females to come, but I'm going to make her go that way. Let's check these little squashes. These guys grow up so fast. I planted this one not too long ago. It is already running that way. Just need to weed this and come in and mulch both of those areas. Drying out really quickly. Over here we've got our bean plants. Got multiple beans on there. Our second round of carrots, which is what's in here. It's looking really nice. A lot of beans. Some over here too. Those are a little too small. The tiny ones I leave. And then they grow bigger than I want. But that's about the size. I'll pick one. Let's check out the long beans. So, there's two different types. There's cowpeas, which are these right here. These you want to dry out, so I don't pick them until I feel that they're dry, because if I take them inside, like, that one's close. This one's close. But it's not quite there yet for me to pick it. And we'll have to view it from the other side. But over here, I also have long beans. So I've never grown long beans before, and I'm growing them everywhere right now. But this is really cool. I like them a lot. But I've never grown long beans, and they're just so cool. So these squash and beans are coming up really nicely. I think those are the burgundy bushing beans. I'm just at the point that I'm going to come through and stake these guys up. And I can mulch this area too with the mulch, from the mulch pile. I've got to deal with that marigold too. I've got a lot of tying up to do. Everybody's growing big and strong with the nice weather. We've got more beans over there and squash coming up as well. Here we've got a next round of some carrots. I think parsley. It's a little warm for the parsley, but we'll see how it goes. So that melon's coming around nicely, looking a little stretched in places, but we're starting to get our second ones. I don't know if this is the same plant or if it's a different one, but it is kind of going everywhere. It's all over there too. So over here, we've got more long beans, and I missed some down here that were quite long. These guys, I'm going to go ahead and harvest. And so these are different than the other ones. Different variety, but all the same to me. Into the bucket they go. And we've got to work on this long bean because she's going everywhere. So this is a treat. They're just starting to form. This is radish pods. So this radish bolted. And so I'm going to leave it. And those pods are like a spicy snap pea. That's what I would call it, flavor-wise. And so I'm excited for those. But we are going to go ahead and pull some of these radishes and check out our last of our beans over here. So we got all those beans from these beans plants. You can see how this melon is just kind of taking over. I could trim some of these extra lines off, but I'm just letting it go. It's also taken over the marigold. The marigold has become a trellis in itself for the beans and for melons. So, got to keep it trimmed up. This looks really lush and green over here. So that's the last of the harvest of non-herbs. Cowpeas are looking really nice. These guys have come up. Over here we have more different type of bean here. These are some kind of melon. Rounded those up. I'll put them out towards the way. I don't know what plant this is, but I'm just letting it go. It's definitely what most would consider a weed. We've got more beans over here and some cucurbit of some sort. But here we go. So these guys, again, this one, it's almost papery. So you can hear that. That's when I pick them. I don't pick them earlier than that because they can mold if I put them in the bowl to dry. So all of these right here, that one is still too plump, but all of these are papery on the outside, and so, and they kind of crack a little bit when you get them, grab them. So like that one's ready. That one's not quite ready yet, but we'll go harvest the beans. So I lied. We had one more thing to harvest. And I don't see any long beans hiding. That's one thing about the long beans. They tend to hide from me. It's hard to find. But gotta collect the shells to harvest too for the chickens. Just because I think this is such a cool, pretty process. In the morning you'll get rid of excess water through their leaves. They look so pretty. So I was about to harvest my fennel, and then I saw these two little guys. And I know it's a native butterfly, so fennel stays. No harvest, but I got the basil trimmed down. About to get this sage. I'm not sure exactly what happened to the center of my oregano. Happened after the rain. So we're not going to get oregano this time, but that time needs to go. We got to trim up these two sages after. So that is a Virginia creeper inside my strawberry patch. So we've shot out a ton of runners all over the place, getting a little eaten up. But it's getting too hot for the strawberries. We're at 100 degrees, so there's no more strawberries at the moment. But they'll start producing again in fall because they're everbearing. But we've got a whole bunch of new strawberry plants. I think I need to deal with that lemon balm. After This time's going crazy. We're gonna go for that. These are little rosemary. Gotta do those basils. Whew. I do not know how all of this is fitting into this one basket. But it is. It's like the TARDIS. And also, so this is a volunteer. This is a ground cherry. I did not plant it, so they fall to the ground. I'm going to let it stay, and that is going to give me ground cherries, which I've never grown before, so something new. Lemon basil into the endless basket. Now we're going to do the pots. Basil, peppermint, there's some sage, 2-bit small. I'm not sure what that is. My other mints, and then there's some kale in there. We'll grab 2. I was coming over here for my mints, and I saw one of my daisies came up. I think it's a daisy. Anybody know? But got a flower coming up. Didn't even know it was there. So last thing we're going to do is we are going to harvest our wildflower seeds. So these are brown-eyed Susans, which I don't have in my prairie, but are native, and so I want to harvest these, spread them around a little more at the homestead, and take them into the prairie. So we're going to collect some of these guys. So this is the next row in our little wildflower pot patch. So we got blanket flowers that are ready to go ahead and pull, and these guys here. Sunflowers are just starting to bloom. Brown-eyed Susan starting to go away. But over here we have big Maximilian. And so the first flower heads I think are ready. We're going to check them so we can spread more around. But these guys are starting to bloom over here too. That's it for the seeds. So I don't have a lot of the prairie or partridge pea, so I'm going to let those guys go. The sunflowers aren't ready yet, but we'll end with this little cute flower down here, hiding in everything. Tiny little guy, really pretty little blue flowers.